YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of That Child-Free Guy. And I also want to say thank you so much for 1,100 subscribers. I want to really thank you for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. And whether you join for the child-free content or other content, I hope you keep watching. Well, here we go on this one. It is called I Do Not Contribute. So it was an AITA. I'm the only child of 4 who is not having kids. I'm happily married and we own a pretty nice house. Because of its size and its somewhat rustic appeal, we've hosted the last 6 holiday years. We're the only ones who have a house big enough, kitchen large enough, etc. It's always been a lot of work and we're always left with a trash house after. We have 4 spare rooms, so some people stay with us. We always pay for most of the food, do the most cooking, etc. After Thanksgiving dinner, my family and I were sitting around chatting. My dad got agitated because we wouldn't give him the answer he wanted about kids and said, "Well, if you're not going to contribute to this family, why should you be included in our wills?" I was shocked. It's not like there's some huge payday coming. I'd be surprised if I was originally going to get anything but someone's old heirlooms. It's less about me feeling entitled to anything. But what he said really got under my skin. A few of my siblings nodded along and were like, "Yeah, why should you get when you don't give?" My dad got a very stern, angry look on his face when I said, "What?" and said, "Don't like it? Too bad. Deal with it." I said, "So does everyone feel that way?" People nodded and murmured and didn't look at me. So I got up and started collecting everyone's crap from around my home, where I'd spent the past few days preparing meals, cleaning, entertaining obnoxious kids, and threw it all in a pile on the floor. My husband joined in. I said, "Since we apparently do not contribute to this family, no one should be upset that our home is now closed. You all may leave now. Please be gone by 4 p.m. It was 3:30. There was yelling and my dad getting angry and calling me a selfish brat. My husband and I just went to our bedroom and locked the door. Several people pounded on it, telling me that they just couldn't leave. It's a 5-hour drive with wired kids. I said, "Don't like it? Too bad. Deal with it." Everyone left. My house was a mess. I was upset. My phone got blown up with messages. Days later, the family group chat started up with plans for Christmas. Everyone decided to just forget what happened at Thanksgiving and people were planning on when they'd arrived at our house for Christmas Eve. I chimed in, "Just a reminder, we are not hosting. Please make other arrangements. No one will be staying with us." Turns out they didn't have anyone else who could host, so there was no Christmas. A lot of shitty messages on Facebook and other platforms later. I've been called every name under the sun. But I don't think I'm at all wrong. If they don't think I contribute, then I won't contribute. My ruling. This is an ultimate fuck around and find out. You're in my house trashing it and not even helping to clean up, and you're telling her that she doesn't contribute. Then you sit there and tell her that she's worthless unless she has a kid while she is hosting you in her house. I think I would have done the same thing, telling them to get their stuff out of my house and don't ever come back. But the even crazier part is that they acted like nothing happened when discussing Christmas. I don't contribute? Well, self-fulfilling prophecy, it is. Now for the comments. Lady Poe in a bunch of numbers says, "Not the asshole. I can see where you get your shiny spine from. To have the audacity to claim you contribute nothing to the family while staying in your house, eating the food you bought and paid for, while you entertain them and their kids requires absolute balls of steel. It's no wonder those balls were passed on to you so that you can shut them down. Well done. They deserved every bit of what they got." Whataboutism says, "Not the asshole. Ultimately, this is bribery to force you into having a child. You have no obligation and every right to choose to do whatever you want regarding starting a family. I personally would argue that your dad ruined the festive season for your family for acting so entitled to you providing grandchildren for him and acting like a brat and taking you out of his will to hurt you. Your body, your choice. Don't let them tell you otherwise." Tutsani says, "Not the asshole, but also, seriously, how is having children contributing? It's messed up because he's treating his grandkids like objects rather than people, and it doesn't even make sense. Besides, you have the right to do whatever you and your husband want as a couple, and it's nobody else's business. I think you've done nothing wrong, to be honest." Mania Triple C 86 says, not the asshole. The whole "you do not contribute" line is just bullshit. You have siblings who obviously already have kids, so your parents already get the grandparent treatment. What's the big deal of you not having kids? It's obvious they had already talked about it, and it seems to me that possibly one of your siblings has planted this idea and your dad had a knee-jerk reaction. That's just a thought, though. The last comment is from CD Miller X42, and it says, definitely savage AF move by the OP. Her dad had the audacity to say she doesn't contribute when she's been hosting the holiday parties for so many years. That's bullshit. And now her family is mad at her for not hosting anymore? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So what gets me is oftentimes there are these people who believe that imaginary children are more important than the relationship that they have with you. Those children do not exist right now. And you're telling her that those imaginary children, those some fictional non-existent persons are more important than your relationship with your daughter. Well, she contributed her money, her time, her place. You guys trash it, and then you say that she doesn't contribute because she doesn't have kids. Who the fuck are you? Don't stop telling me that parents are compassionate just by the status of parenthood. All right, have a great one. I will talk to you soon, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for That Child-Free Guy. Talk to you soon.